Hi everyone, my name is Linda, and today I'm going to share with you how you can shift out of imposter syndrome and into your authentic soul expression so that you can show up more confidently in any area of your life. Now, what I share today is a spin-off from my last video for Lightworkers on the concept of embracing the authenticity of who you really are. So if you want to check out that video, I'm going to put the link to that in the description below. But in embracing who we really are, what often comes up is imposter syndrome. We feel like a fraud, we feel not good enough, therefore we stay stuck in this analysis paralysis kind of energy, so badly wanting to show up a certain way or be more free, yet choosing to oppress ourselves and withhold or hide instead. And at the end of the day, it is a choice. So I'm going to share with you how you can use your free will to liberate rather than oppress who you really are. So I want to first start with I got a little whiteboard here. I'm going to draw a little visual to help show what it looks like when we are experiencing imposter syndrome so that you can catch yourself in that awareness and pivot as you choose. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little upside down triangle here because when we are in imposter syndrome, and this is from the perspective of the unity consciousness, when we feel like a fraud or not good enough, it's because we are feeling disconnected from the nature of who we really are, from our spirit, from God, from universe, from our oneness with source. Okay? From this state of disconnection, it's usually because we don't have a spiritual practice that we're devoted or committed to. So then instead of operating from the heart space, we actually feel disconnected from our heart. And what I mean by that is on the inside, there's this deep feeling of unworthiness or not feeling loved, which means we then seek it externally, attempting to fill this gap. And this is what the ego does. When we are disconnected from our spirit, then we become ego led. And I mentioned this in the last video too. So the ego will then seek externally and do whatever it needs to do to get this need to feel worthy and to feel loved, because it does not feel innately worthy. How can it when it's not connected to the worthiness that it already is? Okay, so then what the ego will do is look for two things externally. The first one is control, and the second one is approval. So what this means is when we are seeking control, we are seeking control or influence over others' thoughts, beliefs, or behaviors in order to make us feel loved and worthy or powerful or validated or right or whatever it is, whatever result we're seeking. And on the flip side, when we're seeking approval, we then change ourselves and keep that mask on or wear a different mask around different people so that we can be accepted by them or join their club or feel like we belong according to their eyes and their opinions. Okay. And living this way, oh, it's so depleting, it's so exhausting. If you use the metaphor of the upside down triangle, we begin to feel top heavy or this dense energy and we feel wobbly, like, oh my goodness, I can't stand on my own 2 feet. I don't know who I am anymore. Of course not, if you're disconnected from the nature of who you really are. Okay, so how does this even happen? The major reason, and I'm drawing a bunch of arrows here, is that we allow all these outside influences to affect us. Everybody else's thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, opinions, from society, from the media, from even from our especially from our family and friends, especially from the people that we love most. Okay? When we let what everybody else thinks about us affects us, no wonder why we're split in so many directions, trying to please everybody and control what everybody else is doing here so that we can somehow feel this inner void of not feeling worthy or loved. There's this perpetuation of anxiety. And this is the root cause of what imposter syndrome really is. We are leading from the mask of the ego, disconnected from who we really are. So, of course, we feel like a fraud. We're not being who we really are. Okay, so on the other side, I'm going to flip the board here to illustrate what it looks like when we do choose to be authentic to who we really are. So I'm going to draw a right side up triangle here. And it first starts with your spiritual practice. If you're not committed and devoted to any spiritual practice as your daily way of being, you cannot feel connected to your spirit. So that could be prayer, meditation, affirmations, gratitude journaling, breath work, yoga, taking long walks in nature, whatever that is for you, anything that allows you to tune inward and feel connected to your spirit, your soul, your God presence, whatever word you want to use. That is the first step you need. And if you are unwilling to do this, I guarantee you're probably feeling like this. Okay? So, this, your spiritual practice, your devotion to it, is the number one step that I would say that you really need to choose for yourself if you want to live a life that feels life-giving and authentic and liberating for your soul. Okay? When you tune in to connect, what happens over time when you make this a lifestyle and a daily practice and a daily habit is that you begin to embody more of who you really are. So embodiment is an inward thing. The thoughts you think, the beliefs you choose to carry, the energy that you feel on the inside. You feel more of whatever God is to you, whatever the universe is to you, more of the love, the joy, the unconditional acceptance, the clarity, the loving awareness, the abundance, the prosperity, the laughter, the freedom, the play, whatever that is. Then in that embodiment, because of your choice to commit to your spiritual practice, you then naturally, you don't even have to try, you naturally begin to express the embodiment of the love that you are. So these things, tuning in to connect, embodying your connection, naturally allowing this embodiment to emerge in the way that you express yourself externally. This is all the external physical stuff that other people can see. How are you speaking? How are you showing up? How do you engage with others? What actions are you taking? What are your behaviors and your daily habits like? How do you show up in your workplace? How do you play, for example? Okay, so as you express yourself authentically as who you really are, you simply end up serving the nature of who you really are, and you just live in this life-giving, harmonious cycle that does not feel depleting at all. It feels renewing. It feels vibrant. It allows you to feel refreshed, satisfied, purposeful, whatever feeling that you want to achieve. The reason why, or the way that we can get here, is by, of course, tuning in to feel connected to the love that we already are, meaning that we no longer need to seek externally control or approval to feel loved, because we already feel the love that we are and express the love that we are. But it's also because we are, I'm making this circle around here, practicing a level of self-care that allows us to focus on who we really are and what we really want, instead of allowing this split energy to toss us around all over the place, feeling frazzled and anxious and falling into cycles of depression or self-sabotage over and over again. In order to break that, if we choose to start with our spiritual connection, embody that energetic presence, we will naturally show up that way, owning the love that we are. And one thing I forgot, I cannot forget our ego. We need our ego to serve us. And this is what the ego is actually doing. Because here in the physical embodiment, the energetic embodiment, the physical and energetic expression, using this temporary physical body, using the intellect of the ego, using the actions that we take, we are simply expressing our unique and individual personality that is not like anybody else. What I mean by that is, on the spirit level, yes, we are all one with Source. But on the ego level, this is where we are individual, not separate from one another, but we are individual and unique, so that the way we express our source energy is unique to each of us. That's how you know you're being authentic to you. Okay, so let's talk about self-care again. What are you choosing to focus on? What boundaries do you have in place? What are you allowing to enter your energy field? And what are you consuming? Look at the media you're consuming, the social media you're consuming, the videos that you're watching, the food that you're eating, the beliefs that you're taking on, the people that you engage with and that you keep around you. And again, what are you choosing to focus on? Are you choosing to focus on the fear, the anxiety, the depression, and the doubt? Not to say that it won't be there, and not to say that we're going to live in this cycle of harmonious perfection every day. It'll probably fluctuate from here to here on a daily basis. But the more you become aware of when you are in imposter syndrome, and the more you can consciously pivot to tune in, practice your self care, and become more authentic to who you really are. So, I'm going to help make this even more tangible by giving you 4 questions that you can ask yourself to find clarity for you and how you can apply this to whatever is going on in your life, on your journey. Okay, so I'm going to actually just place the numbers here. I have 4 questions to share, and I'm going to throw the questions up on the screen. So the first question to ask yourself is, what qualities do you use to describe God, source, universe? Make a list of all of those qualities. For example, I mentioned earlier, love, joy, abundance, freedom, whatever that is to you. Then of those qualities, ask yourself, okay, this is how I perceive source, how I perceive God. And I guarantee that there won't be anybody, or at least I hope not, that believes that God is not good enough. I don't think that would be on your list. I think something like abundance and prosperity would be on your list. So from that clarity that you've created for yourself and your perception of God, then ask yourself, okay, which part of who I really am, your God presence, lights me up the most right now? Or which part of who I really am do I want to activate right now? So let's say for you, it was something like joy. I want to be the joy that I am. So then you would focus on the embodiment of it by asking yourself, okay, what does joy feel like in me? Because when you are embodying this energy, this is all the internal work. So on the inside, let's say joy feels like, ooh, I'm feeling free, I'm feeling expressive, I'm feeling relaxed, I'm feeling like all is well, I'm feeling like my body is more flowy and not so rigid. Oops. I'm feeling more in love. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling like making jokes, whatever that is for you. You can answer that question in whatever way that quality you chose would feel like in you. Okay? And then the third question you can reflect on is, all right, so when I'm ready to express that joy, for example, and use whatever quality you chose, what would that look like as an expression of me? You might be smiling for no reason when you are embodying your joy. You might be more in a playful mode when you are embodying your joy. You might be dressing in a certain way, perhaps with color or something that brings you joy. The people that you choose to hang out with might be of great joy. The things that you choose to watch on the media will be things that bring you joy, for example. And just allowing everything to be connected and in alignment. And that in that joy, the way you express yourself with others, the way you engage with others, then goes back to serve the joy of who you really are. And the fourth question, then, so that you can maintain this, would be, how can I nurture this quality in me? Whether you chose joy or love or whatever else. How can I nurture this quality in me? Then you find ways that you can practice your self-care and choose what you're placing your focus on by creating healthy boundaries, for example, so that you can truly nurture the nature of who you really are. I hope that helped in some way. I'm going to wrap it up here for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.